Dandavat Pranams. Antikalpatarubhyascha Kripasinubhyascha Pachitani Hamanebhyo Vaishnava. Mandishapadaya Krishnastaya Bhutaya Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tunaya. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachani. Nirvishesha Srimati Bhaktivedanta Shatana. Mandishapadaya Radhika Priya Shri Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Shri Krishna Lila Katanaya Siddhaksha Adaya Nakuli Dinashtritam Varam Varanya Purushamamutam Narayan Shri Chaitanya Manobhustam Srafitam Yadavutam Swayam Rupadam Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for coming. So this is the 21st time that we've been doing the Rupa Goswami conference in English. So the Guru gave that instruction in 2005. And so we're very fortunate that that he's given us the chance, the opportunity to glorify Rupa Goswami, and hopefully it will sink in after so many years. I know that there's this one scholar, I invited him to speak, and he may be speaking, and he said, "Oh, but your audience, they're so learned." It's like it's a challenge to be able to speak properly in this assembly. But before I begin, there's a few things I'd like to point out. If you look on the wall, for those of you who don't know, this is the handwriting of Srila Rupa Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami, and Srila Jiva Goswami Pad. Sometimes they are copying other scriptures, Padma Purana, for example. And other times it's their own work. The Govinda Virudavali, for example, over there, this is Rupa Goswami's work, and his copy, so it's the original. I mean, the others are also originals, but they're copying other works. And there's one especially very sweet pastime that takes place just in the manuscript itself. So we have the Vilap Kushmanjali. As you know, Vilap Kushmanjali was written by Raghunath Das Goswami. And the very first verse is a verse that he is glorifying Srila Rupa Manjari. So this is Rupa Goswami's handwriting of the Vilap Kushmanjali. So that means that Raghunath Das has given him his work, and Rupa Goswami is copying it. Except he has omitted the very first verse. So that was to him. So he omitted that, but he copied the whole thing. Then from one of the others is Sanatana Goswami is writing a copy of something. Anyway, he's writing it on the banks of Rudrakund. You all know where Rudrakund is? It's in Jatipur. And so there was at one time a bhajan kutir of Rupa and Sanatan. Even Gopal Chandra Ghosh said, even in his time, which is like 50 years ago, there was a bhajan kutir there. Later on, it deteriorated and the whole place became a garbage dump. It was recently renovated and it's very beautiful now. But we can understand that there was this bhajan kutir there, and Sanatana Goswami says that he is writing there. Why would he write in Jatipur? Most probably because he was copying this manuscript from the library of Vittalnath Goswami, the son of Vallabhacharya. He had a very special library. I've actually been there. The room is still there, not the books. But next to Govardhan, this is where he had his library. And so it's understood that there was friendship and relationships with the Vittalnachi and the Rupa Sanatan, and it's mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita that they went with him to Mathura when Srinachi was there. So these things we learn from the manuscripts. I wanted to mention that we're able to have this conference by the grace of some devotees who made donations. Rishikesh in Australia was very kind. Chandrika in Hawaii, Vaijanti Mala on behalf of an anonymous donor, and Sundar Gopal in Fiji, Hare Krishna. And our technical support, Krishna Karunya, is invaluable. He lays out the program every year. Dr. Prabhu helps put things online. And we have a YouTube channel. Do you know what happened? Facebook is cutting everything off of. We're live on Facebook right now, but after 1 month it's going to disappear. So we have now two YouTube channels. And so these devotees, Shyam Kishore Prabhu and Abhay, have helped put things up. And all the wonderful devotees, Radhika Priya, Kamala, Tasakrishna Prabhu, Karuna, who helped to put this together. So I am your first speaker. And at the request of a devotee who was very concerned that within Vrindavan, sometimes people have misunderstandings of the philosophy. Oh, Hare Krishna!
Sometimes you're downstairs, sometimes you're upstairs.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Didn't tell you. Krishna. Radhika Priya. Can you give him some? Well, there's some water in that cooler. And flour. That the idea of Parakiya Bhava is misunderstood. And so this is what I'm going to be speaking on. Actually, outside there's a small booklet. This is written by Srila Narayan Maharaj. It's called The Distinctive Speciality of Rupa Goswami. And it's in Hindi and English. And you're welcome to take, these are partially damaged by the flood, so they're free. You're welcome to take one. If you don't have one, please. This article is so wonderful, in which he describes the teachings of Rupa Goswami. And in particular, the very first subject is Parakiya Bhava. And so I'll speak briefly. The essay begins with the famous verse, Sri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale. Because Srila Rupa Goswami understood the Manabhishta of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was able to establish his mission as well. So this is from Prem Bhakti Chandrika by Narottam Das Thakur. It's Narottam Das Thakur's Mangala Charana, and it's also the Mangala Charana of this small book. And what is this Manubhishta of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Rupa Goswami has described this in the verse, Anarpita Chirim Chirat Karimaya Vitinakalo. May Shri Sachinandan Gaurhari, resplendent with the radiance of molten gold, manifest himself within your hearts. It had been a long time that he had not bestowed that most excellent, exalted, radiant, conjugal mellow on the world. And so he has mercifully descended in the age of Kali to bestow the wealth of devotional service unto himself. Sri Krishna desired to appear in this world to propagate Ragmarg Bhakti, which is devotional service based on spontaneous attraction. And therefore he came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to establish this. Now Krishna is endowed with all opulences and he enjoys all the rasas. He's Rasik Shekha. But as Krishna, he did not give the prema of all the rasas. But he did as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what prema did he specifically come to give? In the prayer, Nija Padamja Prema Dhanavati, you know, the first verse of the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Nija, his own prema, the prema of his own lotus feet. Srila Sanatana Goswami, when he's commenting on this verse that he himself wrote, he says that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give the highest praise to the lowest feet. This is his mission. So this frame is Unat Ujjvala Rasa. Unat Ujjvala Rasa indicates Parakiya Bhava, which is the mood of paramour love. This is only present in Srimati Radhika and her Kaya Vyuha gopis. The bhavs of the gopis, Madhanakya Bhav and Rupa Bhav, cannot be given, but it's possible that the beauty, the Shri or the Shobha of their bhavs may be given. This is Manjari Bhav. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came only to bestow Manjari Bhav to the living beings of this world through the medium of Nama Sankirtan. And so, Srila, can you give Maharaj some more? Srila Prabhupada explains this in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Lord Chaitanya's greatest gift was teaching that Krishna can actually be treated as one's lover. And so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's innermost desire was to preach the Paramour mood, or Parakiya Bhava, and Rupa Goswami fulfilled this desire. And as there are challenges to this, and especially we encounter this in preaching throughout all the cultures of the world, and certainly in those who follow the major religions, some sort of marriage legitimates the mundane ras of romantic relationship between men and women. And conversely, there is the taint of illicitness, immorality, and sinfulness to unmarried relationships. Krishna himself says, I'll just read the translation, for a woman from a respectable family, adulterous service to a paramour is always condemned. Such behavior spoils her passage to the other world, bars her from entering Swarga, and brings her disgrace in this world as well. Such sinful conduct leads directly to a hellish condition. Krishna is saying this in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:29-26. A few verses later, Maharaj Parikshit asked Shukadev Goswami, using these very strong words, Apta kamo yadipati kritavan vai jigupsitam. With what motive did the self-satisfied Yadupati Shri Krishna, whose every desire is fulfilled, perform this reprehensible activity? Maharaj Parikshit is saying this. So in the face of attributing the stain of adharma to Krishna, some scholars, poets, bhaktas, and religious groups maybe well-intentioned, have tried to deny or minimize the presence of Srimati Radhika. Some religious groups view Radharani and the gopis as spiritual prostitutes. Alternatively, they try to legitimate Krishna's relationship with the gopis by marrying him to Radharani. Practically every performance of Ashtayam in these times includes with great pomp and festivity, I've seen this several times, the marriage of Radha and Krishna. The Ramanandi challenge, remember this, at the time of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the Ramanandi challenge to the worship of Radha Govinda that sent Baladev Vijayavasan to Jaipur was because of this. They did not accept the legitimacy of Radharani. And even in Gita Govinda, Parakiya Bhava is not clearly delineated. One scholar made this point, and she said, well, actually, there's nothing in Gita Govinda that says that Radharani is not married to Krishna. It just could be they had a fight. And that's what it's about. There are other people that say that there are two different Krishnas, because they don't want Krishna. So there's the Krishna of Bhagavad Gita. We accept that Krishna. Krishna Vrindavan is somebody else. So, Srila Rupa Goswami said, before the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, people would look contemptuously upon this most effulgent paramour mood of Krishna and the gopis. Unatujala Parakiya Bhava. Srila Rupa Goswami, with strong scriptural arguments, has established that Parakiya Bhava is the most auspicious, pure, and elevated mellow. The first argument, First argument, who is Krishna? So, he makes the point that morality that's applied to mundane personalities does not apply to Krishna. Why? Well, who is Krishna? He is Sarva Avatari. He is the source of all the avatars. The avatars control dharma and adharma. They are the objects of religion and the destroyers of irreligion. So how would their source, the avatari, be influenced by dharma or adharma? And therefore, in Ujjvala Nilamani, Rupa Goswami says, it should be understood that whatever scholars have described as inferior about parodha, alpapatya, which is extramarital affairs, applies only to mundane lovers and not to Sri Krishna and the gopis. Why? Second argument, who are the gopis? Why does Krishna accept Upapati Bhava and the Parakiya Bhava? Why does he do this? Why would Krishna do this? It's problematic, it's difficult, and it's problematic. Why would Krishna do this? To taste ras. Krishna is all-powerful. He is Sarva Karna Karna, the cause of all causes. He is Akila Rasamrita Sindhu, the nectar of all the rasas, Akila Rasa, all the rasas. So when this Krishna, who is the origin of everything, and who is Akila Rasamrita Murti, when he wants to enjoy, with whom does he enjoy? He enjoys with his Ladini Shakti and her expansions. Radharani is Krishna's Shakti. He's Ladini Shakti. The gopis are Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. Oh, I have the verse from... Sorry. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratipavitavis Tabirya Eva Nijarupataya Kalavi. Nijarupa with his own form, who are parts and partials of his own form. So these gopis are Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. Their forms are the effulgent mellows of the pinnacle of divine love. They are the personal expansions and counterparts of Sri Krishna. They embody the functions of Vladini Shakti, his Shakti. So Krishna himself, and it's Krishna himself who seeks the Parakiya mood, not just the gopis. Why? Because it brings Sringara Rasa to its highest level of relish, being forbidden, difficult to attain, and against all odds. It was Krishna, who went to the forest on Sharad Purnima to call the gopis. They came, but who called? So, that's the second argument. Next argument. What is the proof? Oh, okay. Some people actually doubt that there's Parakiya Bhava in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Let me read you a few things. I won't read you all of them. The gopis did not stop, despite being restrained by their husbands, fathers, brothers, and other relatives. Being unable to see you, your mothers, fathers, husbands, brothers, sons, and relatives must be searching for you. Oh, Achyuta, we have come here, overstepping our husbands, children, ancestors, brothers, relatives, and the boundaries of morality, propriety, respectability, and chastity. It goes on and on. There are many references. So Parakiya Bhava does exist. It's in Srimad Bhagavatam. But I won't read them all. Fourth argument. The fourth argument, actually this is my favorite. So we have the authority of Shastra. Next argument, Sadhu. So in this, Srila Narayan Maharaj discusses moralistic differences that are basically understood to be sampradaic. He says, in sampradayas, only Sri Radha Krishna's pastimes of meeting and sporting, Milan and Vihar, are accepted. Read Nimbarka. Even within those pastimes, they do not accept the pastimes of concealed desire and longing, man, abhisar, or trysting. Achievement with great difficulty and opposition. There is no Abhimanyu, there is no Jatila. There's probably not even a Javan. In regard to the Paramur mood of the gopis, they espouse the common sentiment and look upon Parakiya Bhava as licentious behavior. Such people, according to the thought of Srila Rupa Goswami, such people are evil-minded. To refute these misunderstandings, here Srila Rupa Goswami appeals to authority. This is a verse from Ujjvala Nilamani, and Srila Maharaj has analyzed it and given it like a Bhava interpretation of it. Srila Rupa Goswami first establishes the greatness of Srimad Bhagavatam, calling it the Paramahamsa Samhita. Sri Bhagavan Narayan first revealed it to Brahma in the form of Chaturshloki, and Paramahamsa Sri Vyasadeva, who was a manifestation of Narayan, he composed it. Then Sri Sukadeva, the crest jewel of the family of Paramahamsas, sang this Samhita in the assembly of Maharaj Parikshit. But not only did he sing it, he sang it loudly. And who was there? And they all heard. Shukadeva Goswami was speaking at Parikshit, but there were thousands of people there. And he spoke loudly. Who was there? Devarshi Narayan, Sri Vasishta, Sri Parsara, Sri Vedavyas, Sri Sutta, Sri Shonaka, Sri Vidura, Maitreya Muni, and all these other great souls. They were all there. These were the spiritual masters, the knowers of the absolute truth, experts in relishing ras, and the pressed jewels of liberated personalities. They were all exalted, even liberated. And Srimad Bhagavatam was sung loudly to them, and they relished it. You see, we Nigama Kalpa Turor Galitam Palam Sukhamukha Amritam Dravasamyutam Pibata Bhagavatam Rasamalayam. Therefore, this mood of Paramore love, this Srimad Bhagavatam, it says that it was made even more relishable, this verse, Pibata. It was made even more relishable because, like, after Shukadev, he tasted it, like the little parrot tasting a mango. And so even those who were liberated, they relished it. And it's funny that Drava is Prabhupada translates as something semi-solid and soft. So this Amrita was semi-solid and soft, just like a mango.
Wow.
And so, therefore, this mood of Paramore love between Sri Krishna and the gopis, having been accepted by all these great authorities, can never be reprehensible or sordid. Okay, sorry. I'm supposed to keep time for everybody, and I personally never know what time it is. Okay, I gotta stop. So anyway, okay, it can never be reprehensible or sordid, no matter what some sampradayas say. We don't care. So this is confirmed when Krishna tells the gopis, your meeting with me is your meeting with me is pure and faultless in all respects. I am unable to repay you for your saintly behavior. And so, in conclusion, Jiva Goswami says, the gopis are Sri Krishna's beloveds eternally. At the time of their pastimes in the material world, Yogamaya arranges that they be married to others so they can taste the most exalted ras, which is Parakiya ras, in their relationship with Sri Krishna. There is no fault in this. On the contrary, it is a glorious virtue. So these are the arguments establishing Parakiya Bhava by Srila Rupa Goswami, and especially by Srila Narayan Maharaj has given this. And the book is out there. Make sure everybody gets it.
Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan, Srila Gurudev, he also says to satisfy this objection that Krishna is not married to the gopis. Krishna has a pastime when Brahma stole the cows and calves and cowherd boys. Then Krishna expanded himself into all those cowherd boys. And that year, Gagamuni said, this is very auspicious. You should betroth all your daughters and sons and should get married. Krishna was all those boys. So they all married Krishna. In one sense, you can understand that that's, although they're Kaya Vyo Rupa, still this pastime.
Yes, wonderful. Okay, our next speaker is Panchagauda Prabhu. He's the president of the ISKCON of Vrindavan, the Krishna Balaram Mandir. And we're very happy that he's come. He comes every year. And especially at this time, it's a very, so many visitors, and it's Julan time. I'm so glad that you made this time.
got back yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's right. And he just came back from America. He's also dealing with jet lag and everything.
They're clapping because they said he finally got out of America and came back to Braj. But after such a wonderful presentation you made, what am I going to talk about?